TikTok getting banned is absolutely hilarious. Allow me to explain. So TikTok is a platform that you and I are both very familiar with. We have 170 million users in America using this app. Apparently, in a few days later after I upload this video, it's going to be banned.
There's an earthquake in the world of social media that could be even bigger than we thought. Reports that TikTok
largely focuses on U.S. government concerns that China could manipulate content Americans see or steal user data. TikTok denies this.
From January 19th, if the ban goes through, eventually it would stop getting updates. It'll become buggy and unusable.
They've given a specific date. January 19th is the due date for TikTok to either make a decision to sell TikTok to another US-based, US-owned company. Otherwise, it seems like they're just gonna get kicked out. The fact that millions of American users are migrating to another Chinese app. The whole point of banning TikTok is to protect its citizens from this potential Chinese app that could cause espionage and national security. But we're having millions of Americans migrating to another Chinese app that's directly owned in China. I used to live right across XiaoHongShu, or Little Red Book, or what people are calling as the Red Note. I used to literally live across the road from their office, and it's 100% based in China, here in Shanghai. And that's the thing, it's just absolutely hilarious, and we're just gonna react to some of these videos that's happening right now. Before I dive into this video and break things down, I just want to show you guys some of these videos that I found on XiaoHongShu. So it's the platform that all these TikTok refugees are going to, and I just found these really wholesome ones. So let's get into that. I just want to show you guys. So first, we've got
I just want to show you guys something. That's me having a conversation with someone in Chinese. Listen, I know the technology to do this has been around for a while, but I'm not a sophisticated person. I'm not college educated. This was not on my bingo card for 2025. This was not on my bingo card. So long feeling like I've wanted to exist in any other time than this. Suddenly it's a wonderful time to be alive in that moment.
I think this just epitomizes it really. It's just so wholesome, right? This whole entire thing, this whole entire interaction, TikTok getting banned. The US government is not the winner. The Chinese government is not the winner. I think the winner here is the American people and the Chinese people, because for the first time, just like this lady said here in her video, it's the first time where the people from two different countries, and I'm talking about the average everyday citizens of China and US, two countries that have been opposing each other for the past decade through trade wars, through all these things, and now out of this random interaction, because these guys are banning TikTok, they're trying to de-escalate, they're trying to avoid Chinese companies controlling them, and they are going to this platform and actually interacting, and they're finding out that, hey, you know, these Chinese people that we always say they're communists and they're just evil and they're all these stereotypical things, maybe they actually weren't that bad and they're very welcoming. I've got some other videos like this one. Hilarious. Oh my god, look at this. Yeah, so we have this. I'm just gonna turn it down. So here we have, says, "Hello, I come from America." I love the eagle there in the background. So this was made by CapCut. CapCut is a video editing software made by ByteDance, so the owner of TikTok, and I think this will also mostly be banned. It's like as if you've lived in China for more than 50 years. Got a nice little cute cat here. This is the most local foreigner that I've seen today, and it's just great. Yeah, look at this. It's just hilarious. Oh, I gotta love it. So this just shows, you know, like we've got Peppa Pig here. Look at that. So it just shows that, you know, human interaction, these things transcend borders, these things transcend cultural barriers, they transcend language barriers, they transcend everything. Okay, we have here this video. So this lady, she's got...
Hey guys, we're so honored to be on your app. We're from America, and
hey.
We're just so grateful that you're allowing us to be on this app when TikTok has been shut down. Our TikTok. our little baby.
That's hilarious.
And we're really sad, but we're looking for.
If she posted this on TikTok, maybe she'll get like 1,000 views or something like that. But here she's gotten 290,000 likes. 290,000 likes, and you know, over the span of a few days, she's gotten, what is this, 130,000 followers, and she's posted a few videos of just herself saying things. So that's just the kind of warm welcome we're feeling here, right? So these are the things that we're seeing.
Hello from America.
Hi.
Well, I'm gonna show you some of the best things about our country.
Okay, show us the best things,
First,
right?
we have Alani's.
Yes.
Specifically, pink slush.
That's the best thing you guys have to offer.
Okay. This is foam, iPhone. And we have Octo Buddy. It sticks
Octo
on the
Buddy.
phone without any glue.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
like that, and
I wonder how much the price difference would be from the two countries.
Okay. We have which is
I have no idea what that is, but that's my point. It's just these wholesome interactions that I'm
Howdy,
really liking.
this is me on day 1 of using RedNote. Hello, this is day 3 of using RedNote. Ni hao, this is Di Wutian. Sorry, day 5 of being on RedNote. 谢谢我双向候选 TTT。
I love how what was it, day 5 he was trying to like get into it. It was like 你好，这是我在小红书的第5天。And then now on day 7 he just went full on gibberish. It's hilarious. And boy, obviously that's so funny. And look at this guy. So the nice thing about the XiaoHongShu app is posts your IP address, and here this guy's from America. He says, I see he bought his school supplies with them. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Americans, show me your cats. Oh, that's so cute. And then everyone's just like showing their cats here. It's just this wholesome interaction. And look at that, just everyone's posting. And yeah, you got locals here. This is American. This guy's from Brazil. We've got this from America. I saw one from China. You got even from Saudi Arabia. Like, we have users in Saudi Arabia joining this application, the XiaoHongShu. It's just amazing. It's so cool. And I think this was the video that really. This is world peace, right? This is what we're going for. This is really. This is it. You know, the world should be like this. It shouldn't be this kind of segregation. It should be sort of something like this. Look at that. This is peak American pop culture, you know, coming into play here, right? Like, we have Friends. You know, this rom-com sitcom show getting into here. And this was posted by some Chinese guy, so that just shows that American influence is in China. And then show me your cat and dog, same thing. It's just so wholesome, this interaction. We've got like 1,800 different comments there. And then, yeah, even this. So this is something very niche. It's like, hi, I'm a Chinese gunpla player, so it's like these mecha models, big giant robots. They piece it together, and then look at this. So there's a few hundred comments here, and then everyone's just kind of sharing their side of the giant robots, and they're sharing this hobby. It's so cool, it's so lovely, I love it. And look at this photo and the way it's posted. American here, we have some Chinese guys, they're all sharing, they're interacting over this passion. Like, when last has it ever happened where we have Chinese people interacting with these American people at this level? That's never happened before, because we've never had a platform that allowed for this. We've never had a single platform, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Vine, whatever. We've never had a real platform where the average citizens could come here and join and just to share. Look at this. So this is quite funny. It's like they're sending me the English homework. It's hilarious because I study English. And yeah, that's just hilarious. It's what else here? I feel like we just transferred to a new school. Gotta find a table. It's hilarious. In the club, we all learning Mandarin. Yeah, Duolingo has spiked crazy. It's just, this video is on the topic of learning. Shame. So it's absolutely hilarious. She's learned ancient Chinese, which for me, I barely like know the basics of. Yeah, it's just like these things. I'm pretty sure it's a meme, but it's just hilarious, you know? But this is the one that I want to end off with. Hello everyone, This is myself and my daughter saying hello to all and look forward to all the new friends we make across the seas. TikTok migrant, right? So it's not a refugee, TikTok migrant. And just look at that. Look at these photos, right? That's just so wholesome. Oh, it's like my heart is absolutely melting. And this is, okay, we get that. But that's what I'm saying. Humor, you know, we're all human. There's a lot of things in this world that connect us. And why are people trying to separate us? Why are they doing that? Right? This should be it. This is what we're about. We should have these sort of interactions. Look at this family just sharing with us. And then down here, we have someone from Africa, Kenya, right? We have people here and look at this. This is so cute. Like, people are sharing their photos, sharing their lives. And look at that. Look at the dog. Look at the whole feel. It's just, why is the world trying to separate us when we could be sharing photos like this with each other? Right, when we can be talking and just sharing our lives like this? Why is it that the government is trying to separate us like this? Why cannot we just be at peace? But instead, we have videos like this. Look at this.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand that.
So if I have
Yes,
TikTok
I don't understand the
app
question
on my
either.
phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network? Access that network.
Who am I? Where am I? What am I? This guy is very intelligent. He got an MBA from Harvard. He did his bachelor's in London, and he worked at Xiaomi, which is, in my opinion, one of the best companies in China at the moment, for 5 or 6 years as CFO. And they're asking him if a phone application uses Wi-Fi. I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna get back right into the video right now. Let's go. I really want to just say that I am very much in the middle ground of this. I think China gets a lot of things right, but in this specific situation, I'm in the middle. I just want to give my personal objective opinions as a wannabe content creator. This is just a really important topic that I think I really want to just discuss with everyone, because this is influencing not just the brain rot content creators, but it's actually influencing a lot of businesses and lots of people that rely on TikTok to kind of survive. There's a lot of big content creators on TikTok, with no doubt, and they rely on this, and all of a sudden this is being taken away from them. I really want to get into it. Let's discuss it a bit more. TikTok's been under fire for a long time now, and we all know that. And the US government has raised concerns over data privacy, national security, and so it's major influence on younger generations, which is true, but that can be said with almost any app, right? Like, you go on Facebook, you go on Meta, you go on to YouTube Shorts, you're gonna have brain rot content. It's just unavoidable, right? So that argument about younger audiences, let's throw that out of the way, right? And the next thing about national security, right? Yeah, everyone has your data, right? I'm gonna post this on YouTube and YouTube has my data. YouTube knows what I do, but I don't think YouTube really cares. No one really cares about my photos on holiday. No one cares about your cat videos, right? That's not a government level thing. They're more caring about like propaganda. So that's something that we can discuss. Propaganda. So this time it feels like it's really going to happen. I've read that states in Montana have already passed the bans, and the federal legislation is creeping closer and closer. For TikTok content creators in the US, this is an existential threat. So this is happening, this is going to happen. So it's the livelihood, it's the community, it's this, like I say, 170 million people, that's half the population of the entire United States of America, is going to be left out, right? So it's almost like saying, can you imagine Facebook just leaving, right? It's very difficult, and just having this app to potentially disappear overnight, for me it just sounds crazy. I've been following this news for a long time. I think it was last year, where the CEO, Mr. XiaoHongShu, was basically roasted for 5 hours in this court full of very high-ranking people, basically asking, are you Singaporean, are you Chinese, did you work for the Chinese Communist Party? So a little background about him. He grew up in Singapore, in fact. He studied in London. He has a MBA from Harvard, and then he did work for another Chinese company as CFO from 2015 to 2021, which is a long time for Xiaomi. And Xiaomi, I think a lot of you guys know it, they make very good appliances, excellent company. I love it, I use their products all the time. It's a very good company. If you haven't heard about it, do check them out. But afterwards, he's been in TikTok ever since 2021, and he's undeniably very Singaporean. So that's a little background about him, and back to the topic. So this thing has been going on for a while. He's been going to all these court hearings and speaking to all these very important people, explaining why TikTok shouldn't be banned, etc, etc. It's been a long time, but this time it seems very real. What's so interesting is that because this time is so real, it's about to happen, we have so many people flocking up to another Chinese app called Little Red Book, XiaoHongShu. And XiaoHongShu is this app that I've used for a long time. You know, I post a lot of things there as well. A little history about XiaoHongShu for those that don't know. It's just this Chinese app, social media app. When I first used it, it reminded me of Pinterest the most. I used to use Pinterest a lot, but it's a nice app. It's a nice community. It's kind of like a child of Instagram, Pinterest. It does have short form video, quite good actually. It's got a big user base in China. XiaoHongShu is one of those apps where a lot of the, I would say it's the more educated Chinese people tend to use it. It's not like Douyin or there's other, I don't want to say bad, but it's just like the content's not really there. If you go on XiaoHongShu, you can see even before these American, they're calling themselves as TikTok refugees, came and flocked this channel, it just had a lot of really high quality content. Right? So it was very artistic. It really was like Pinterest and Instagram having a baby child. And it's just interesting that everyone chose XiaoHongShu as the platform to go and seek asylum and refugee. It's just, I can't believe it, XiaoHongShu. Overnight, I opened up my feed a few days ago and I just see like one American guy, and it's pretty cool. I'd click a like, and then all of a sudden I'm flooded with all these posts. But XiaoHongShu is just so interesting. It's this app that has very little English support. Like I go and use it right here, and apart from the front page, you can set it up in English. Anything else you go into is just fully Chinese. Like if you go onto the creator page where you say, can I register my name and things like that, it's all in Chinese. I can't imagine what XiaoHongShu is looking like right now. I'm pretty sure if I go out to the head office, they're at o'clock at night right now, and I think it's probably lit up. Lots of people are probably still working there. I can imagine a lot of translators are doing their jobs right now. It's just this crazy phenomenon. But what I love the most, what I love the absolutely most, is that this platform isn't going to be a permanent asylum or like a refugee camp. It's going to come, it's going to go. Americans aren't going to use XiaoHongShu, I think. But it's that there's so many wholesome interactions, right? It's just the first time, I think, in human history where the average American citizen and the most average Chinese citizen can interact in this wholesome way without any restraints, without any barriers. This is very different to a Chinese national spokesperson on Twitter posting a sort of like a promotional video of the country. It's very different to Chinese people watching the state news about reports on America. It's just very different. This is really just hand to hand. I want to say face to face, but it's face to face across thousands of miles and thousands of kilometers. It's just so wholesome. Yeah, so the current state is that XiaoHongShu is flooded with Americans. We see so many people are just commenting on it with lots of memes shared around. I saw this crazy thing. I've been in creative for some time now, and I've got like 1,000-something followers or something like that. But I saw this girl, she's like, hey guys, this is my high school. And she's got like 100 and, I don't know, last time I checked, she had like 150,000 followers overnight, basically. That's crazy, right? So I guess the key to success is to be a Caucasian female during a hype train and going to China, right? So that's there we go. That's expert advice. The fact that all these Americans are moving, it actually, for me, I think it epitomizes American culture, right? It's the American society of we don't want to stay put. And I think that's what the USA was built on. The USA was built on the fact that they didn't really like the current situation, so they literally got on a ship and moved out. So now we want to talk about something that's relatively controversial. And it's the reason about TikTok being banned. You say national security, I can see the argument. It's valid, right? So in this day and age, the most dangerous tool one can have really isn't nuclear weapons or things like that anymore. It's really shaping a big amount of the population's thought. How far do you go, right? Any single mainstream platform, Meta, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, right? There's always some sort of moderation. Right? That's just fact. You know, you can't just go out and post really gruesome and horrible things, right? You can't do that. That's just never going to happen. There's not going to be a single platform in the world that does this. I mean, even Reddit, arguably one of the most free places in the social media, internet, web of things is moderated. You have Reddit moderators moderating every single subreddit about things that can or cannot be posted. And that's the thing. There's always going to be some sort of moderation. And as a business, they always have to have some sort of incentive to push this. But now, this argument isn't too valid because, in my opinion, I think TikTok is quite fair, right? I understand there's a lot of brain rot that gets shared on these platforms every day. It's not the best. That can be said for any single other platform. My argument is that what we're aiming for isn't to stop then who's the better or who has what. It's just every app should promote healthy content, the healthy, positive content, to have freedom of speech within the realms of healthy, good quality content. I first used Douyin and TikTok in about 2018, and at that time for me it just felt refreshing. I instantly stopped using Facebook and Twitter because this is what I think the biggest issue is. They can't compete with TikTok's algorithm. Now, let me explain. Anyone, I think, today with AI and a basic background of programming and a small team and startup, whatever, they could make a video streaming app, like just shorts. It's not very difficult. I really don't think it's that difficult to make something like this, but it's the algorithm that really makes it unique. I use XiaoHongShu, I use Douyin. It promotes really good content. As I'm in China, I use Douyin, and for me, every single time the quality is very good. I use Instagram to chat as well, but I don't want to get started on it. Once every month or week or so, I get some OnlyFans model trying to message me, and you can see they're scams, right? How is that not regulated? I never have that on Douyin. I scroll on Instagram, and then we see these ads of like straight up pure prostitution. It's like get your massage. It's just straight up prostitution. You can see the advert is like that. And the same thing with YouTube. YouTube has a lot of not safe for work ads. If you want to see more proof, you can go on these YouTube subreddits, and people are complaining. How can this happen whilst on Douyin in China? I've never seen these kind of things. So arguably, it's healthier, right? Douyin parent company is ByteDance, and TikTok's parent company is ByteDance. So they're both subsidiaries of ByteDance, and essentially they kind of should be using the same sort of algorithm, although with different tweaks. That's just the thing that doesn't make sense to me. If you say national security and things like that, I think this platform is arguably the most free. So if it's that free, how can it really be used as espionage and to be used as a national threat? Like I said in the beginning, it couldn't really be espionage because no one really cares about what the average person is. They don't care about your dance videos, they don't care about your skits, they don't care about your cat videos or dog videos or whatever. They could be sending you a bunch of propaganda. But this propaganda, we're not stupid. No one's really that stupid to realize, to say that, oh, okay, I see this blatant propaganda from China and I'm gonna believe it. If anything, if you're doing everything right in your own country, even if this scenario does happen, I think the people will know that this is propaganda, right? Yeah, so now both of these things kind of get thrown away. So one is that saying this is a spy app, doesn't make sense. Then they say it's national security, somewhat valid, right? I want to be very objective on this opinion, but at the end of the day, I do really think that this is some sort of deeper capitalist scheme. At the end of the day, I think Meta and Google or whatever, they were ready to say that, hey, we're going to get an influx of users from TikTok back into our ecosystem of Facebook and YouTube and Instagram Shorts, Reels. That's what they thought. But clearly it's not happening because I think the average American isn't that stupid. I don't really like criticizing people, but Mark Zuckerberg ended fact-checking a few weeks ago wearing a $900,000 watch. He's done some great things. He's in the position that he is because for his own reasons. Good or bad, that's not for me to comment, but he earns a lot of money, and to have that watch on him is not really bad. It's like maybe us buying a watch for like what, $1 or $2. But he wore a $900,000 watch whilst saying that Meta is going to end third-party fact-checking. So that's basically saying that in the age of AI, where deepfakes and all of this is getting even more and more realistic, they're going to end fact-checking. So now we're going to have our grandmas and mothers and believing that there's crab Jesus. We're going to have like mermaids appearing on the coast of some island nation. It's just mind-boggling that this was this is what they decided on. And now how can you tell me that this is helpful? It's just very hypocritical. I really do think this is pretty much a very mix of a capitalist issue. It's a mix of just trying to control the population again, because the same thing can be said if a US company buys TikTok. Then what is preventing the US company to promote US propaganda, and then or afterwards using this as a weapon to weaponize this platform to kind of send anti-China or anti-anything? So I think ideally it's in this world we want something that's just fair, right? I think we want something that's fair. We want something that allows freedom of speech within a certain amount of constraints. I like that there's CNN and there's Fox News. You know, two opposing parties sharing their very extreme views. And I think that's good. You know, I think that's good. You need this sort of competition, and you make this decision as the audience, as the person consuming this. You want to be able to have the ability to judge for yourself. Right? So you see these two extremes and you know yourself that what is really going on. I've been to the US, I've seen that side. I've been to China, I live in China now. And for me, I see both sides and I make my own judgments. And at the end of the day, I think both parties are very much the same. In China, we have the fact that China has banned Facebook and all Google services. I don't think China should be really commenting, and they haven't. There hasn't been any really government level commenting on this situation because they themselves are banning Google from China, which is quite hypocritical, but this is exactly what I'm saying. So at first, you see TikTok come into the US, you want to say, oh, freedom of speech. It's just so hypocritical because freedom of speech is only freedom of speech when it aligns to the capitalist ideologies of the local high-ranking people, officials. So if you knew that TikTok was going to be this whole thing, why did you allow it in the first place? I think that's what China kind of knew. China's a very different country. I always say that it needs this system, and it's worked well. The average Chinese citizen has rose up exponentially. I see my family's members, my extended family, my friends. I see them. They've changed so much. Where in the country I grew up, it's been in stagnation for a long time, and China's grown a lot, and this is the kind of prosperity that the Chinese government allows its people to have. China knew essentially that if these American apps were to flood the Chinese ecosystem, for one, from a logistic perspective, it's just not going to happen, right? Chinese content, American content just doesn't work. It's the same thing, like you have so many different levels of content in different languages sharing on the same platform. Sometimes it gets mixed up, right? So YouTube, I'm watching a video and all of a sudden I'm getting like a Bangladesh, Indian, or some Thai, sometimes I get some like South Korean videos popping up. I'm not really that interested, and then it wastes my time to go through it, and I click into it and I find, oh, the guy's speaking a language that I don't really understand, content's not what I really want. So one, I think the ecosystem locks it in, right? So it's better to have a monolingual ecosystem for your local audiences, and that's just fact, there's no argument there. But the next thing I think is that China just kind of knew that if they allowed American-based companies to kind of get into local soil and to promote this agenda, it's a risk, right? So they from the beginning knew this and they didn't do it. They didn't really kind of say that we are free speech and things like that. They didn't advertise it that. They say we want to do what's best for our people, and that's the thing. That's what they did. Now for America to do similar thing, but just so much later, it's just very ironic and it's just very funny. It's hilarious in the sense that everyone's pointing fingers, you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy, you're the bad guy, but essentially we're all the bad guys. If America could say like free speech, you should have just kept TikTok there, right? Why didn't you make another platform that can compete? It's just so blatant. The fact that they have Instagram Reels, it's complete trash. I use YouTube Shorts is arguably a bit better, but it's just, you scroll through it and it's just the same content. It's the algorithms and the technology is not there. And this is the same thing with the Chinese EV situation. China is making incredibly cheap cars. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. We're talking about like $20,000 and you're getting like a really premium sedan that would be selling at like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 in the US. So you're getting this like thing, and then you're getting taxes and import taxes on it. So at the end of the day, why are you doing this? You're doing this because you want to protect your local jobs. There's lots of videos that says why import taxes doesn't really work, it doesn't really protect jobs, but that's a whole different argument. But my point is that protectionism is going to stay in every single government level because it protects the citizens to a certain level, but also protects those in charge. So when you have this big situation like today, it's just hilarious. I just think today we're chatting about this, it's just hilarious. Everyone's ironic. I wish the world could be better. I study translation and interpretation for a reason, because I want to bridge the gap between cultures and languages. Sometimes it's not just a language barrier, it's a cultural and it's an understanding barrier. And today what we're seeing with XiaoHongShu is that there's a big place for Sino-American dual content platforms, right? To have this place where it's so wholesome. Everyone is just being happy, they're sharing their views, and it's the first time that the average citizen of China and America, the most basic level people, are interacting firsthand. So it's great. I love this. I'm all for it. I'm all for this cultural exchange, for this language exchange. It's absolutely hilarious seeing seeing Chinese people putting their English homework and then letting Americans do it, and they're doing it. It's funny. It's hilarious, and it's gonna be something that I will remember in my life. It's a really good phenomenon. And it shows that globalization is taking place at a rapid rate, and I'm all for it. It's one of the best things that should happen to humanity. We can't be monolinguistic, we can't be monocultural and monoethnic. We have to find a way where we can get past our differences, understand our differences, and then just share them, right? It's cool. Like, I love American culture, and I'm pretty sure a lot of American people would love Chinese culture had they understood it. It's not just back to the days of, do Chinese people eat dogs, and just very, very stereotypical racist ideals. Let's step out of it. XiaoHongShu, will it be the next big thing? I don't think so. It's not going to be the next TikTok in America. It's not going to be whatever. Quite frankly, despite saying what I've said in this video, I don't think TikTok will really get banned. It will probably be sold, or something will change. I don't think it will be just disappeared. TikTok is I think the last time I checked, it was estimated as being like $50 billion US company. It's a really, really big company. Just to see it disappear along with all these creators, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think XiaoHongShu will be the next big thing. But personally, I think we're at a turning point. And this is very important. So social media is always evolving. It's shaped by politics. It's shaped by culture. And it's also shaped by how us as users behave and what content we want. And as, all these platforms come and go, they rise and they fall, the one thing remains the same. And if this situation has proven anything, it is that we need to create, we need to share, we need to connect, and this is the beauty of humanity. Okay, so that's pretty much the video. What do you guys think? Is this migration a sign of something bigger, or is it just another trend? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. I post a lot of videos about Chinese travel and Chinese culture. This is something different today, but yeah, see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.